Hey guys, Weeby News here. So today I wanted to bring you guys a video talking about the top 5 most ridiculous moments of Danganronpa. So before I made a video called the top 5 most fucked up moments, and those are basically moments that contain crazy plot twists, big reveals, messed up backstories that left you saying, what the fuck? But in this video, I'm basically counting down the top 5 moments that made you say, what the fuck, but in a different way. Just to clarify, these are not the top 5 funniest moments. I may cover those in a different video. More so, these are the moments that were outlandish and strange, but in a comical sort of way. So, without further ado, let's begin. So, number 5 is Pekka's reveal as Sparkling Justice, because honestly, it's sort of ridiculous, but in a good way, of course. That whole entire trial was a pretty big roller coaster for me. I really didn't know who the murderer was until right before it was revealed, and then when she finally confessed and came out as a superhero with like crazy emojis in the text box and like an anime mask on, it was just something I did not expect at all. And quite frankly, it was pretty hilarious and outrageous. Also, if you guys didn't know, the original Japanese voice actress for Pekka was the same as the voice actress for the main character of Sailor Moon, and that mask was actually a reference to her previous work. And one of the best parts in this also is when Monokuma is taking a nap in the middle of the trial out of boredom because it resembles the second trial of the first game so much, which obviously was on purpose. Honestly, if she would have actually been Sparkling Justice, this would have probably ranked much higher on the list, but either way, this scene is pretty damn ridiculous. So number 4 on this list is Asuka Was Tegami fantasies in another episode. And this is included because, first off, it's pretty damn funny to see a character that was such a dick to you in the first game basically be used as a gag character in this one. But also what's more ridiculous to me is that it's referenced continuously throughout the game, and it even shows like an Oron-esque like whipping scene featuring Tegami where he grades you on how well you performed in the previous chapters. So overall, it's pretty funny to have to experience what goes on in the depths of Fukawa's mind. So number 3 is a scene in the first Danganronpa game during a Monokuma theater event. And Danganronpa is known to break the fourth wall occasionally, but it's always usually pretty quick and harmless. But in this scene, Monokuma literally plugs a game made by Chunsoft, which is the same company that made Danganronpa, by showing a trailer for a game in the middle of a game. And then Monokuma goes on to talk about why we should buy it. And this scene is probably one of the funniest scenes in Danganronpa 1 to me personally because I was not expecting it whatsoever. And I personally love when games, TV shows, etc. make jokes like this referring to the fourth wall. And of course we all know that Danganronpa continues to break the fourth wall in Super Danganronpa 2 and another episode as well, and probably more so in those games than in the first one. But this one caught me by surprise. It was probably one of the most blatant times it's ever broken the fourth wall to me, and just like really ran with it. And honestly, it was pretty hilarious. So this next scene is from another episode, and unfortunately, I don't really know if it's ridiculous in a good way or a bad way. In this scene is the moment that Mario and Fukawa talk to a ghost about Monika's past. Really. And Danganronpa is known to do some pretty crazy things in the past, but it had never mentioned Ghost once in previous games, which is sort of shocking since they decided to make it canon in this game. I'm guessing it was supposed to be sort of a joke since Kamaria mentions having like ESP earlier in the game, but overall the moment still seemed pretty random, especially since it sort of leads up to a couple of big plot points. So I guess to me it seemed like the joke would have fit better in an optional cutscene and not one that was so directly related to the main storyline. But that's just my opinion, and I think everyone can agree whether or not you love or hate this scene that it's pretty damn ridiculous. So the number 1 absolute most ridiculous thing to me in a Danganronpa game is Mecha Mario. Specifically Mecha Mario crying Coke. And it was really a toss-up between this and the ghost scene, but I decided a robot crying Coke was a little bit more ridiculous than a ghost. And I guess it seemed really ridiculous to me because I was honestly really worried about Mecha Mario 2. And I was expecting him to come back looking like a terrible junk Monokuma meets deformed anime John Cena, but then he came back with a new nickname and Coca-Cola tears, and this scene I originally thought would be heartbreaking, but it just became like ridiculous. And when I first played Super Danganronpa 2, I wasn't a big fan of the scene or the whole Mecha Mario plot point at all, but now that I've gotten used to all the ridiculousness of these games, it sort of grew on me. And the one thing that would have made the scene even better to me if it would have been like Coca-Cola actually brought sponsorship onto the scene and Danganronpa just pulled like a Code Geass with Pizza Hut and threw in some advertisements in a bunch of super obvious ways. But anyways, this is my top 5 most ridiculous moments list, so if you have your own, feel free to leave it in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Danganronpa content and updates. And I will see you guys real soon.